welcome back to another episode of the MOK Project, and for those teachers here in Australia, we are almost there, about a month to go until the end of the year, and you certainly can feel that tiredness setting in around this time of year. Look, in this episode, really just a bit of a catch-up to see what I've been up to and what the rest of the year holds. As always with teaching, it's been pretty frantic over the last month or so, and I thought I'd like to share with you a bit about what's been going on. So here in Victoria, our Year 12's finish around the end of week 2 at most schools, and although that's a little bit of a relief in that it's sort of one less class a day that you need to teach, it sort of ramps up in other areas. So they have a range of functions in their last week that you need to attend, including their graduation ceremony. They have a celebration day with a breakfast and parade, which I was involved with as the MC, and graduation night itself. For my American viewers, it's a bit unusual here in Australia. They graduate before they sit their exams. And the reason being is that the exams only form the component that allows students to enter into university. Here in Australia, it's called an ATAR score, which is a rank that they get. But if they complete all the coursework during the year, they still get their high school certificate at the end of the school year. And then majority, 95% of students then sit the exams as well, which will eventually give them a score for university. So that's why we celebrate the graduation prior to the exams. My students that I teach in theatre studies, they have their exam this coming Tuesday. So I met with all of them as a class on Thursday. We did a 3.5-hour masterclass and then actually went out for dinner as a department, as a performing arts department. We had the drama students there as well. So that was a bit of fun. But I've had students emailing me and visiting me at school with updated practice exams that they want me to correct. So for those people that teach Year 12s, they know that it's sort of, even though they've left, it doesn't always finish right there. And it's a little bit bittersweet with my Year 12s leaving, and you become very reflective at this time of year. You think back of all the students that you've taught, particularly in Year 12. And being a performing arts teacher, you also have involvement, obviously, with musicals and productions. And so even students that you didn't teach in Year 12, but that were in those shows, you start thinking about where they might be. Some of those ex-students pop up on your social media from time to time and you see where they're at, or some of them, in fact, in performing arts have made it and are in shows that I go and see. So you sort of sit back and think about, the impact you have, and really more the impact those students have on you, and how they shape you as a teacher. And so this group of Year 12s that I've taught this year, it's been one of our biggest groups in the school for a while across drama, dance, music and theatre studies. We had 16 involved in the musical compared to, say, only 4 in our Year 11 group this year. So we're unsure of how many of those or extra students will get involved next year. So as a faculty, we've sort of been sitting there going, this is a really important group of students that have gone through our school, and we're really excited to see where they might go in the future, but also it's sad to see them go. We had a visual arts and technology exhibition at our school once a year that happens, and again, a fantastic night of artwork. The last couple of years we've been involved from the performing arts end because we have supplied a student or students to perform performance art, live art, if you will. Now, many of you would have seen this in cities around the world. For example, you go to New York City, there's always someone dressed up as the Statue of Liberty, and they might be there on a box, frozen, and then they suddenly move. This is performance art, street performance art, if you will. So the last 2 years we've had students perform throughout the night in the space, and it just adds another level to the night itself. But overall, a fantastic night. Our visual arts faculty at our school do such a fantastic job. So the night itself is a highlight of the year. So those regular viewers of the MOK project know that next year I'm moving into a new position. The title is Director of College and Community Engagement. Now, in summary, what it means is that I'm in charge of any event, group of people or publication that go beyond the school. So things like school assemblies, Anzac Day ceremonies, awards nights, graduation, our school magazine, our school newsletter, our ex-students association, our parent association. So I oversee that area of the school. I have a team that work with me on that, but that's essentially the role I'm moving into. So I've just started dabbling in that role already. The person sitting in the role has been promoted and she's off to another school as a deputy principal. So anything that she's working on now that is for next year, I'm involved with. Anything for this year, that's still her area, and I've still got to be the head of performing arts for the rest of the year. But I am enjoying just getting a little snippet of what is going to happen next year for me. Now, one of the big things that I look after next year is that our school is turning 40, and we have a huge range of celebrations next year for our 40th anniversary. And one of those sort of coincides with performing arts, and that is that we are producing a gala concert, a sort of one night only performance night where we're bringing back all the stars from our previous musicals. Now, the school's done 25 musicals in those 40 years, and so we've spent the last month or two tracking down a lot of those performers and started to invite them back to do this gala show. It's been really, really exciting and lots of fun in the early planning stages. I've got a team working with me, including 2 ex-students, a current staff member and myself, and we are looking at all the possibilities of what we can do next year. But it's going to be heaps of fun because we're bringing back people that may not have stepped inside the school for 25 years. We've got some performances where some old and new performers are going to work together. So we're really, really excited about that. There's also a gala ball next year that our school will be hosting at one of the big fancy hotels in the city. We've written a book, so 40 years, like a memoirs book that we're launching next year. The principal's also got some artwork that he's commissioned for next year. So all these events are going to happen right throughout 2020, and my job is to oversee those, so that is going to be great as well. In my personal life at the moment, my wife is a head of VCE at a school, so she's been really, really busy because those out there that know the job of a head of VCE means that you have to be at the start and the end of every exam throughout the 3 weeks that they're on. So it really means being at work at sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock and not leaving till 5:30, 6 o'clock every night. So that means it just makes our house a little bit busier. And I too have had a lot of these events that I've talked about, graduations and art shows, and we have a junior performing arts showcase happening on Monday night. So, lots of nights where both of us are out, and as you know, I have a daughter, and so that requires us to, do the juggling act. We don't have a lot of family support around, so it's calling in on friends and other people to give us a hand with pickups and drop-offs. Now, as for the MOK project for 2020, look, I haven't made any decisions yet. I'm moving into a senior position next year, senior leadership role, sitting on the principal's executive, so I'm not sure how much time I will have. So, look, it's a little bit up in the air, a little bit of reflection for me over the next month or so, whether I can continue to put out enough content. Already you would have noticed in the second half of the year, I've only been able to get a video out once every 2 or 3 weeks. And that is just because of how busy I have been, and it just got busier and busier as the year went on. And I guess as a teacher, those teachers out there will know your energy just starts to drop off a little bit. But certainly there might be some opportunity to get some videos out every now and then next year, but I will have a think about it. Well, thanks for watching another episode of the MOK Project. I do thank everyone for their support. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. And also I am on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. So if you hit those up, you'll get regular updates of when the next video is going to drop. But until next time, this has been the MOK Project.